So is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So good morning to all of you. So today we'll start the real MOS capacitor. Already we have discussed about that ideal MOS capacitor, and related to that all the regions, means accumulated region, then depletion region, inversion region. Also, you have calculated the threshold voltage and flat point voltage also. So for that case, the flat point voltage was 0. Okay. So there was no non-ideal charges or non-ideality was there. Means that metal to semiconductor work function was 0. And then other charges, other 4 charges were 0. Generally, we have considered QF means fixed charge. That part was 0 and that phi ms also 0. So that's why in that case we got that flat band voltage is 0. Means at 0 voltage our band diagram means all the conduction band, valence band, and the Fermi level, everything is flat. Okay. So but here we'll discuss the real MOS capacitor. Okay, how it is different from that ideal. So that thing we'll discuss. So here you can see, I think already we have discussed this real capacitor also. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see here again. So at you can see due to both that phi ms and fixed charge. So a negative charge, okay, a negative charge induced at the surface of this semiconductor. So due to that, you can see the equivalent band diagram here. So due to that, though the negative charges are here, okay. So this surface part, okay, this depletion region area, that nearer to the surface of the semiconductor, the band is bending without giving any voltage. See, here we are not giving any voltage, it's a completely short circuit, V is equal to 0. So, though negative charges are here, so this part at the surface, it is behave as a negative, means it's a behaves as a means it's a towards n-type semiconductor. Okay, so that's why you can see the Fermi level. The Fermi level is from EC. You can see the Fermi level to EC distance is less now. Okay, so initially, when in ideal MOS, when there is no charges, that was constant, means that difference is more. But now this difference is less. So that's why it is going towards negative n-type semiconductor. Okay, though negative charges are there. So our aim is how much voltage we will give so that it will remove all the charges. Okay, whether it's a positive or negative, whatever. So that amount of voltage we have to give here. Okay, so in this gate to substrate terminal, we have to give a voltage so that all these charges related to that fixed charge and metal and semiconductor work function. Okay, so all the charges will go away, means it will be removed. So this is the second condition you can see. So when we are giving a negative voltage, okay, so these charges are removed. Now here you can see it's a completely flat band. Okay, that means at a negative voltage of 5 ms plus minus q by C0, we are getting flat band. Initially it was a 0 voltage in ideal MOS, now it is a negative voltage. Okay, so this part we can calculate. This is phi m minus phi s. So for SM metal, the phi m generally is 4.1, 4.2 like that. Okay, so in phi s we also calculate from EC to that reference, it's 4.05. Another things you can calculate from these to this, again these to this. So finally you can calculate from this if you know the value. Okay. Again, if phi f is given, then we can calculate also, and also the thickness of the oxide. If you know the thickness of the oxide, then you can calculate the C0. and this value also, if you know this value, then you can calculate. So finally, you can calculate the flat band voltage, and it's a negative value for this type of situation. Okay. So these things I have mentioned. In the ideal case, this was 0, but in the real case, the flat band voltage is phi ms minus phi f by C0. Okay. So finally, if you calculate the Vt of the transistor, so in ideal mode, it was Vt is equal to phi Ox plus phi Os. Okay. Phi Ox means voltage across the oxide plus voltage across the semiconductor surface. Okay, this is phi S, this is phi Ox initially at the ideal MOSFET. But due to this non-ideality condition, means this phi ms and presence of phi ms and your fixed charge, so this part is added. Okay, so now the Vt is V flat band plus phi Ox plus phi S. Okay, so this is the total Vt equation. Now you can see there are 4 things. One is semiconductor war function, metal to semiconductor war function difference. Another is due to fixed charge. This is one voltage phi F by C0 plus phi Ox, oxide voltage across oxide, and this is phi Os, voltage across semiconductor. Okay, so by combining these 4 things, we can finally calculate the Vt. Okay, so individually you can calculate this thing, and this thing, this thing. So all the formulas are, you know, all the formulas. So we have derived, and you know that, and you have understood also how it is coming. Okay, in physical diagram. So that's why you can easily calculate these things. Okay, and the main thing is here phi ms. So we have calculated only for suppose it's means metal. Okay, but sometimes you have to calculate for different metals or polysilicon. In polysilicon, sometimes you will calculate for heavily doped polysilicon or heavily doped N-type poly or heavily doped P-type poly. So for different cases, this value will be changed, phi ms. Okay, so how you will calculate this value, you know. Okay, so you can calculate the phi m, what is phi m, formula level of that metal, and what is phi s. So you will difference whether it's a positive or negative. It depends upon the material. Okay, whether it's metal or polysilicon, it's N-type or P-type, heavily doped or lightly doped. So that depends upon that, you will get this one. And this value, this is fixed charge. So it's normal, it's fixed. So this value almost you will get a constant value. And this value also depends upon the surface charge you can get, and this is phi s. Okay, so this is also depends on the depletion region. Okay, how much depletion region is there? So all the formulas are there, and you also means what is the physical significance of this thing, you know. So how you can calculate this thing also. So these things are mentioned here. Okay, the war function between metal and semiconductor, this is phi ms, then this part is minus phi, and this is also that voltage component to change the surface potential, this part, and this is your the gate voltage component to offset the depletion region charge. Okay, so this is phi s or phi t, psi s or phi t, you can say 2 Vt ln ns by n0 or na by ni. Actually, it's not visual here. So it's na by ni. Generally, this part you can say 2 phi f. Okay, so in your calculation, sometimes you use 2 phi f, and this part is not Vt ln ns by n0 or Vt ln na by ni. This part is not what phi f. Okay, so finally these 4 things you have to calculate, and you will put that, you can get the threshold voltage. Okay, so any doubt till now?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Everyone understood? Akanksha, Srusri?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't confuse. Just remember these things and relate with your device. with figure how these things are coming. Okay, very simple things. That formula you can memorize, that is different thing, but physically you should understand these things, how these things are coming, and how we will calculate this. Okay, so next we will go for till now we have calculated all these things for a p-type substrate. Okay, so for a p-type substrate we have calculated all this threshold voltage, all this phi ms, phi everything for a p-type substrate. But if the substrate will be n-type, so what will be the situation? Okay, so that thing simply you can see this part, the flat band part, generally this fixed charge is always in the oxide layer, the fixed charge is always positive. So that thing will not change, whether it's a p-type substrate or n-type substrate. So that part will be there. And the phi ms also. Okay, so the phi ms, it depends. Okay, what is the phi m, what is the metal type, and what is the phi s. So that thing you can calculate. So this part generally is not changed. So this part, this q, this qd inversion by C0. So this will be negative for a n-type semiconductor. Okay, this part voltage is a negative, because you can, if you will just one minute. So so for us so initially it was p-type, so now it is n-type. Okay, so due to this n-type, so this part, this voltage, so here this will be your negative voltage. Okay, so you have to give a negative voltage here. So that's why this part will be negative, positive, negative, positive. So this part is your nothing but your phi s means phi t, and this part is your phi oh. Okay, so this is negative. Got the point? How these two are negative? So in n-type substrate, these two voltages, that phi ox and phi s, psi s or phi t. Okay, these two are negative, but this part is as usual, because fixed charge is same, and flat band voltage also, that phi ms also same, depends upon the metal. Okay, metal or semiconductor type, that is also same. But this means the sign will be changed. Okay, so that's why. So here you can see, if we plot, initially we have plotted these things. Initially we have plotted the QB characteristics of the MOS ideal MOS structure. Okay, so now here you can see this is the QB characteristics of both. Means this part you can see here, this is p-type substrate at accumulation region. Okay, and this part is nothing but the at the depletion region, and this is the threshold point. The inversion will start from here, and this is at inversion region. Okay, so this was we have already calculated. I have understood also how it is coming at accumulation, then at depletion and inversion. Okay, but exactly in n-type semiconductor, exactly it will be mirror image of this. Okay, at accumulation. Okay, at accumulation, this will increase. Again, this type of shape you will get during the depletion region, and during inversion, this is again the slope is same as this accumulation region. Okay, So if you do, I'll give you assignment on this. Just do this and check whether you are getting or not. Okay. So exactly you will get this type of mirror image of that p-type substrate. So you do it and draw your graph whether you are getting say this type of things or not. Okay. So here any doubt?
Sir, not understood that minus y it is minus phi t, it is y minus phi t.
That I have shown here now. This image I have this I have drawn an image. Have you seen this?
Yes, sir.
So here I'm giving a negative voltage here, because if you give negative voltage, then for a p substrate we need a negative charge at the interface. Okay, that's why we're giving the positive voltage at the gate. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But if this substrate is n type, okay, so the channel will be a p type. Okay,
Positive.
for that, yes, for that we have to give a negative voltage here at the gate terminal, so that a positive charge will be deposited at the surface. So we will get a channel. Okay, so this part is though this gate is negative and substrate is positive, so the whole voltage will be dropped here or here into materials. One part is in oxide, other part is the surface.
Yes, sir.
So that side is a negative. So minus plus minus plus.
Yes, sir.
Got the point? So that's why these two parts. This is Q D inverse by C0 is nothing but a CO oxide potential, potential across the oxide, and this phi T is nothing but the potential across the semiconductor surface. So both are negative.
Yes, sir.
So everyone got this point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now you can see, so this thing, so how to remove this? Okay, so now you can see this band diagram. Okay, so generally this phi s, we are generally putting 2 phi s. So how this phi s means phi t. Okay, see psi s is nothing but the phi t. Okay, this phi t. Okay, means surface potential. Generally you can surface potential across the semiconductor part. How it is 2 phi f. Okay, so generally during inversion, what happened? This is constant. That EF Fermi potential of that semiconductor is always constant. So when the negative charges, this is for n type. Okay, but the negative charges will come to this surface. Okay, so this at this surface, this part of the semiconductor will behave as a n type semiconductor. Okay, so that's why the band will bend. Okay, so now you can see it was initially it was constant. Now slowly it is going down. Okay, so this distance Fermi to that intrinsic. Initially it was Fermi to intrinsic as phi f. Generally this part is nothing but called phi f. Okay, and if you calculate the value, this is KTLN by EI by EF actually. Okay, this is the energy. Okay, so this Ni means KTLN Ni by Na. This phi f, if you calculate this phi f, this is nothing but KTLN means VTLN Ni by Na. Okay, so this is means higher than this. So that's why the voltage will be KTLN Na by Ni. Okay, Now see what happened. This at this surface it is going down, and this part is 5 also. Okay, so total it is move the distance of this thing plus this part, means total 2 5. Okay, if you calculate from here, from ball to this part, this is 2 5. This part is 5 and this part is also 5. Okay, so similarly everyone will follow this bending. So this also will bend to 5, this also will bend to 5. So this generally we call it phi s. Okay, so this phi f is nothing but 2 phi f. Okay, this is generally we said that 2 VTLA NI by NI. Okay, so this part is your NI. Okay, and this part is your NA, this part NA, and it's 2 times this part and this part. So this is moved from here to here. So that's why you generally use in the formula phi s is equal to 2 phi f. Okay. So got the point how you are calculating phi s is equal to 2 phi f in band diagram. So my intention is don't remember this formula, just means visualize how it is coming. Okay, that phi s is equal to 2 phi, how it is coming from the band diagram. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So don't remember that this is phi f is equal to phi s is equal to 2 phi f. So now you realize how it is coming. So phi s is equal to 2 phi f, because it is bending 2 phi f amount. So that's why everyone is bending. So finally that's why this part is phi s. It's nothing but 2 phi f. Okay. Now we'll move towards the CV characteristics. This is the final. Our goal was to calculate the CV characteristics. Okay. So we have calculated the accumulation region charge, then depletion region charge, the inversion region charge, flat band voltage, threshold voltage, and for P substrate and for N substrate. So finally, from charge voltage equation, we can calculate the capacitor voltage equation. Means that curve. Okay. From QV characteristics curve, we will calculate or we will draw the CV characteristics. Okay. So generally, you know, C is equal to change in charge by change in voltage. Yes or not? So if you have a charge voltage versus voltage characteristics, so usually by differentiating that thing, so you can calculate that capacitance versus voltage characteristics. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so already you have charge versus voltage characteristics curve. Now you will differentiate that thing with versus voltage. With respect to voltage, if you differentiate that charge with respect to voltage, so you will get the capacitance versus voltage characteristics. Okay, so now you differentiate. So this is for P substrate we will calculate. So this is a QA here, C0 into V minus V flat band. Actually, if it is a ideal, then you can put 0. Okay, in the place of flat band, it's 0, but it's a real capacitor. That's why you have put its flat band voltage. Okay, so this is voltage part and this is 0. So now if you differentiate that thing, okay, so what you will get? It will be a constant or not?
C0 and
Because it's a linear part. So if you differentiate, it will be a constant or not?
yes, sir.
Similarly, at inversion also, if you see the inversion equation, that is also this part. This is also linear. Okay, so linear curve. So if you differentiate this part, okay, so again what you will get? The constant or not? This is also C0 into something that's linear. Okay, this part, QD inverse by C0. Okay, this part. So again, you will get a constant C0. But here, this part. So this part is nothing but a shape. It's not linear. So that's why we are getting this type of shape here at the depletion region. Okay, this is our combination of two different things. So finally, if you differentiate that part, okay, at this part, if you differentiate this part, you will get this type of curve. Okay, so physically we will understand how at accumulation region this is constant, and inversion also this is constant, but at depletion how it is changing, or it is reducing with minimum point where threshold voltage means certain threshold voltage, up to that is a minimum voltage, then after that it will be constant. Okay, and also we'll discuss at low frequency how it is again come to the C0 value and it is constant, and at the high frequency how it is stay in that minimum level. Okay, and if you change the frequency, it will also vary. Okay, from low to high, so this type of shape will come. Okay. So here you can see at accumulation region, when you are giving a negative voltage here, this is the incremental charge picture. Okay, change in charge. Okay, so when you are increasing a charge in accumulation region, so corresponding to that, a charge is changing at this surface of the semiconductor. Okay, so del QS is equal to del QA. Okay, so that's why, so it is constant. Okay, but here inversion also, when you are changing something, this is positive, you are changing. Okay, here also you are getting a at low frequency, very low frequency. So this is QS. Why it is here at the surface? Because you know at inversion, this charge is nothing but the mobile carriers. Okay, it's thermally generated mobile carriers. Okay, so that charge is coming will not come from that depleting that P substrate. Okay, so it will come from the nearer to that surface area, the mobile charges. So that's why here, so when you will change this charge at your gate, so immediately, so these charges will be changed here at the surface. Okay, so that's why this part is also, this phi s is equal to phi y. Okay, so that's why it is constant at low frequency. I'll go for high frequency later, but next we will go for the depletion region. Okay. Now check, when the depletion region means when you are increasing these charges at the positive. Okay, so at some cases these charges will come with a depletion distance of x. Okay, again if you are increasing for another charge, when you are increasing voltage here in the gate terminal, so the depletion region also increases. Yes or no? You are changing an incremental charge here at the gate. Sometimes the depletion is in here, and sometimes the depletion is in here. So depends upon that DC voltage. Okay, how much voltage you have given to that gate to substrate. So that voltage is here, but after you are incremental change of charges, so this is at V3 and this is at V3, V4, and also you can give and V5. Some voltage, some charges will come here. Okay, so depends upon that DC voltage, how much voltage you have given, that is the depletion region. Then if you will increase after that, or you will superimpose some charges here, then these charges will come here. And this part understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we can say the capacitor is nothing but is the inverse of distance. Yes or no?
Yes, yes, sir.
If the distance will be more between two plates, or between the two charges, the capacitor will be less.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So now
Yes.
you can relate this part to this. Initially, suppose the voltage was V1, very less depletion region was there. So this was the your threshold. Sorry, your capacitance value. Now the distance gradually increases if you are increasing the voltage. So if the distance will increase, the capacitance will decrease or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you can ask here why it is constant, why after threshold voltage it will not decrease anymore. Anyone give the answer? After threshold voltage, why the capacitance value not decreases anymore? It is constant.
Pinch of voltage.
Hello. So my question is very simple. So at threshold voltage, the capacitance value is minimum. So when you increase that threshold voltage, so the capacitance value will not decrease again. So it will stay at that minimum value. No, your voice is not clear. So anyone, Walker?
Sir, because that depletion region will not increase after that threshold region, the depletion region will be that it will not increase, I guess.
Exactly. So after the threshold voltage, the depletion region will not increase. That means the distance, means the depletion distance is almost constant. Okay. So whatever incremental charge will increase at the gate terminal, so that charge will not come from that depletion charge. That will come from your mobile charges. Okay. So that's why that depletion at depletion region it is constant, because the depletion region distance will saturate. It will not go beyond that value. So that's why it is constant. Okay. So now again this depletion region more elaborately I have discussed here how it is changing. Okay. So these two things are straightforward. One minute. Okay, so now you can see these two are straightforward, the accumulation region and inversion region, because you can see this is a straight line. You can see the slope almost same, so you can calculate the capacitance very easily. But this part is complicated, so that thing we will discuss in more elaborative way. So now you can see. Now if you see this picture, okay, so this is your QV characteristics. Okay, at threshold voltage at the inversion point. So this is the accumulation, this is the inversion. This part we will discuss. So this part is nothing but, you can see this is Qs by C0 plus Qs square by 2Q epsilon S Na. So this is a combination of two things. Okay, already we have discussed. So if you have any doubt, then you can go back and revise that part. So this is the combination of two things. Okay. Now again here you can see here you can see C is equal to dq by dt. So whole capacitance you can calculate by differentiating the charge with respect to voltage. Okay. So if you what you will do, it will, if you do reverse it, then dv by dqs is equal to what will be there? It will be 1 by C0. Okay, means this part. This is the flat band voltage. V minus V flat band voltage is equal to Qs by C0 plus qs square by 2q epsilon s by na. So this part will differentiate. Okay, this is the charge. Okay, you can differentiate this with respect to this voltage. You can differentiate with respect to charge. Okay, so this will nothing but 1 by c will come. So this part will be nothing but 1 by c, because here c is equal to dqs by dv. Now dv by dqs is equal to 1 by c. Okay, so now 1 by c you can differentiate this. So what will happen? So this part will come 1 by c0. If you differentiate with respect to qs, so this part will be 1 by c0. Okay, now this part will be 2qs divided by 2q epsilon by na. Yes or no? So if you differentiate this part, so this you will get or not? 1 by c0 plus 2qs by 2q epsilon by na.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Yes. So now here this thing you can here you can put you can manipulate something here, 2qs by 2q epsilon na. This part is actually nothing but this part qs by 2q 2 cancel, qs by qna. This part will be xd. Okay, xd means your depletion width. Okay, you will get qs by qna. Okay, qs by is surface potential is surface charges, and is number of charges. Okay, q into na. Na means number of charges per centimeter cube. Okay, so qs by qna, this part will be xt. So this part is finally you will get 1 by c0 plus xt by epsilon s. Okay, this part. So finally you can write also these things. So this is finally 1 by c is equal to 1 by c0 by 1 by cs. Okay, cs is equal to nothing but this part. Okay, so this overall capacitance you will get your this capacitance and another capacitance cs with series. Okay, so finally you know when two capacitor will be in series, the overall capacitance will be less or more.
Yes.
Okay, so now you understand from this, if two capacitance are back to back means in series, the overall capacitance will be less. So this thing generally this is the part. So that's why once this will increase, again this part will means this part will be also decrease. Finally the combination will be decrease. Okay, this is the series combination. This part will be decrease. Okay. Now I have to also doing some calculation on this to know in a better way. So now you can see this V minus VFB is equal to this QS. Okay, QS nothing but QNA XD. Okay, this is number of charges into your Q XD. Okay, what is the depletion region? So finally, if you calculate this, you will get QS, overall charge. Okay, so this is your, in the place of QS, you can put QNA XT, and this is C0 plus. This is also Q0. You can simply square this term, Q square NA square plus X into XT square by this. Okay, where QS is equal to QNA XT. Okay. Now you will simplify this. Finally, if you simplify this, you will get this V minus VFB by QNA is equal to XD by C0 plus XT square by epsilon. Okay, just if you simplify this, you will get this. Or if you take to this side, then ES this side, finally you will get this type of thing. Okay, so why I have done this? Because in the next calculation, you will directly put this value in the next calculation. So that's why I have done in this way. So just see this, and again you have to calculate in your paper, then you will get a clear idea. Okay. Now finally, if you V minus PFB or 2V minus PFB by QN is equal to this part. Now what initially this part 1 by C is equal to 1 by C0 plus xt by epsilon s. Okay, this part. Okay, this is equal to overall capacitance shown by C is equal to 1 by C0 plus xt by epsilon s. Now take the square of both sides. Okay, so 1 by C square is equal to 1 by C square plus 2 into this part plus square of this part. Okay, so finally we'll get, if we'll square of both, we'll take the square of both sides, we will get this is. Okay. Now already we have derived these things, means this addition of these two parts is nothing but this part, 2 into V minus V flat band by QNA by epsilon. So directly you can put here. Okay, so by solving the above equation we can get C is equal to this part, C is equal to, this is your final equation. Now the overall curve, this C is nothing but this is the equation. Okay, now you can check here. First of all, if means this is V0 means it's generally when you will put V here, V flat band. Okay, so this part will be 0. Okay, so finally C is equal to C0. So at flat band you will get C0. Just check it. If you put V is equal to V flat band. Okay, so this is your curve, the capacitor curve. This is your V. Okay, so if you V is equal to V flat band. Okay, so you will get this part is equal to 0 and C is equal to C0. See, this part at flat band, this C is equal to C0. Yes or no? Now if you will increase this part, this voltage. Okay, if you increase this voltage, now this part will, what happen? Will increase. Once this part will increase, means overall part, the denominator part will increase, then C will be less or not? Okay, so at Vt, when V is equal to your Vt, okay, so when V will Vt, after that what happened? Means the depletion width will not increase. So at that time that will be constant. Okay, that thing already we have discussed. So up to this, V is equal to Vt, this will decrease. So after that there is no increase in depletion region. Okay, so that's why the capacitor will not decrease. The capacitor is constant at that point. Okay, but another here, exactly at the flat band voltage, generally this should be constant, and it will sharply it will decrease from that point. But actually, really, it will not happen there. So some curve is there. Okay, so that thing due to the Debye length. Debye length means generally at V flat band we are calculating that CF, that QF, fixed charge, and phi ms. So we are ignoring other things. Okay, QIF, QOT, other things. Okay, so that, but still some charges are there. So though that part we are not considering. So due to that things, flat band voltage, it's not exactly C0. Okay, so it is somehow decreases before the flat band voltage. So practically you can say the flat band voltage is here actually. Okay, though you are not considering that things, some other things. So at flat band voltage, this capacitor is, instead of C0, it is somehow decreases. Okay, so the Debye length part actually you can study from the book. It's actually come in the PN junction case, you can understood easily. Okay, so that thing I'll send some material. What is the Debye length? How can you understand that thing? So, but here you remember. So due to some non-idealities, still some charges are there. Due to that, these things happen. Okay. So finally, you can see it. This is the Debye length, means some depletion region there at the flat band also. Because at flat band we are saying is the band is flat, but it's actually not. So though some things were not considering. So due to that thing, some depletion region is there. So due to that depletion region, two capacitors form. One is oxide, another is that region. Okay, again that series of that thing will reduce the capacitances. So that's why here the capacitance is reduced. Okay. So we have discussed the real capacitor. Okay, and what is the QB characteristics curve of a P-type semiconductor, or for a N-type semiconductor, means N-type substrate or P-type substrate. Okay, so at the accumulation, what is the CB characteristics curve, and the accumulation, inversion, how it is straightforward, and but in depletion how it is complicated, and that thing also we have discussed. And finally, at depletion region, we have a formed a equation. Okay, that is the value of C. Okay, by putting this value, you can easily calculate the capacitance in that region. Okay, so these equations are very simple. Just you can simplify. So this is not a very difficult equation. Already all these things means that QS is equal to QNA XT already you have applied in previous slides, previous classes. So this thing, and also these things you know. So it will do this simple calculation again, so you can understand very well. Okay, and my intention is graphically and physically everything you understood or not. Means that forget about that equation, that is you will remember, and that is not important. But physically how it is working, how the capacitance is charging, how the charges are changing in different regions. Okay, so that part understood or not?
Yes, sir.
So everyone,
Yes, sir.
Akansha,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Susri,
Yes, sir.
okay, Pracheta, Satabdi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. So now, in the last class, Pracheta asked why at high frequency, okay, it is constant at any minimum level, but low frequency, it is again increases and constant. So is that your question, Pracheta?
Sir. Sir, I had not asked.
No, last time.
Last to last class, yes, asked.
Okay, last to last class, I think you have asked means why at high frequency it is constant at minimum level, why at low frequency it is at the
Yes,
accumulation.
sir. Last to last.
Okay, so now anyone can explain. So up to means whatever you have studied till now, so you can easily understood or easily explain why at low frequency it is constant at a higher level, and why at high frequency it is constant at lower level, and in different frequency in between. Can you explain, anyone? Just guess how it is. How it is this type of things are going on in that devices when we are giving high frequency, we are giving low frequency or any mid frequency.
Sir,
Yes.
as capacitor is means equal to charge by voltage, means voltage.
See, one thing, just I'm giving you a hint here. So this low frequency and high frequency, the borderline means the boundary condition we understood. Means at low frequency, means that at this after inversion. So this is the threshold voltage. Means the capacitor is come after the inversion region. Okay, after that inversion point. So at inversion, generally the semiconductor surface is due to that mobile electrons. Okay, that is thermally generated mobile electrons. And at high frequency, very high frequency, so the depletion region width will not increase. That's why it is constant. Okay. Yes or no? So now you explain why this happened. When you will increase, yes, supply voltage, okay, it's more than threshold voltage, and the frequency of the signal. So that incremental charge means small signal in change will be very fast at the gate. So what happened actually in the device?
So the capacitance equals to 1 by 2 pi FC. So if the frequency increases, the capacitance will decrease. I think so.
Frequency increases, capacitance decrease. No, it is decrease means it's constant, and low frequency it's increases. So what's your means explanation? Xc is equal to 1 pi 2 pi fc. So this is not discrete capacitance. Hello, you have to explain in that charge or voltage equations. Means when we are increasing incremental charge or incremental voltage at the gate, and that is very fast, then what is happening in that semiconductor or oxide interface, that thing you can explain. So always don't follow that equations. Okay, first understood from the physics means from the device, then we'll apply on that the equations. So anyone?
Sir, after threshold voltage, ion may be changed to the means ions can be changed into that layer will be added up in the depletion layer, which lead to the increase in it.
Okay, so after the threshold voltage, what happened? The charges will added to the edge of the depletion region.
Yes.
So okay, then what happened?
Then it may increase in the voltage, means that
No, one you are correct. Means after the threshold voltage, when you increase the incremental that small signal, so the charges will increase at the gate terminal. That means the similar amount of charges means in opposite polarity will added at the edge of the depletion region. Okay, but the depletion region width will not increase.
Yes, sir.
Charges will be added, but the depletion region width will not increase. So that's why the overall capacitance will be constant.
Yes, sir.
This is your answer?
Yes, sir. Means why it is increasing, I don't know, sir. By constant, because that is the reason of the constant part. That is the reason, I guess.
Okay, but that is constant. That depletion width will be constant. It will not increase more after the threshold voltage. So for that case, you can say this capacitance is almost constant. But according to our explanation, already we have discussed after threshold voltage, the depletion means charge will not increase. The mobile charges at the interface of the semiconductor will increase. But why at high frequency these mobile electrons will not increase? See, at high frequency, what happened? Hello. At very high frequency, so for mobile ions, for mobile electrons at the surface, it is generally thermally generated. Okay. So when you change the voltage, small signal at very fast, okay, very at a frequency of very high. So what happened? So it will take time to generate the thermal electrons at the interface of the surface. It will take time. So if you will increase very fast the small signal, so at that time, so it is not sufficient to generate all these charges at the interface. Okay. So that's why your charges will add due to that ionized negative impurities, means that acceptor impurities. Okay, so that's why all the charges will add at the edge of the depletion region. Okay, so that's why at high frequency your mobile electrons will not added in the surface interface. It will added at the edge of the depletion region, and the depletion region is constant. It will not increase. So that's why the capacitance is always constant at this minimum level. Okay, but at low frequency, what happen? At low frequency, so for mobile electrons, it will get sufficient time to generate and to come to that surface. Okay, at low frequency, it will give a small signal, low frequency signal. The mobile electrons will get lot of time for generating. Okay, it's a thermal generated mobile electrons that it will get lot of time to stay or to come at the interface. So that's why the capacitance at this low frequency, it is almost same as your accumulation region. Okay, but at high frequency, though the mobile electrons will not come to that surface, and it's only due to that means that acceptor negative acceptor impurities at the edge of depletion layer. So that's why the capacitance is constant at that minimum level. So now you are clear how the capacitance will form the high frequency or low frequency.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, mobility of the electron, what will happen to the mobility of the electron in the high frequency and low frequency?
Your question is depends upon the frequency how mobility changes.
Yes, sir. So no means depending on the mobility, does the frequency changes?
No. Mobility actually depends on the temperature. Okay, it's not depends on the frequency. Okay, the frequency means how fast you are changing at the gate. So that's why the charges that in that fast rate, whether the charges are coming to that interface or not. Okay, if it will not come from the interface, then definitely to compensate that charge, the charges will add at the depletion region edge. So that will come from the majority carriers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's why at a high frequency it is almost constant at a minimum level, and but in a low frequency again it is go to a higher level equal to that accumulation region capacitance. Okay. So this explanation I have given here. You can just so once the capacitance in the inversion region, if the frequency is high, then you cannot provide change in the mobile carriers at the interface very easily. This is because the mobile carriers at the interface are minority carriers. Okay. So minority carriers are thermally generated. The majority carriers are derived from the ionized impurity, but the minority carriers are obtained by thermal generation. Therefore, to generate required number of minority carriers, it takes time. So if you change the voltage very fast, then you are not providing sufficient time for the minority carriers to be generated. Therefore, if you make a rapid change in the voltage in the inversion, majority carriers concentration can change very quickly. So this is the explanation. And if you change the signal at the gate very fast. Okay, instead of this charge, so it will create charges here. Okay, to compensate this charge, so it will create a charges here. Okay, so though this width is constant, so capacitor will be constant, and that is the its minimum level. But during low frequency, this is the charges. During high frequency, charges will come here, and this is at the low frequency, charges will come here. Okay, this is the difference at low frequency and high frequency. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is nothing but the inversion charge. That's why that is the straight line you have seen after the threshold voltage. It's a straight line. So that's why the capacitor will be almost C0. But during the high frequency, this part will be not there. Okay. So this is the part. So that's why its capacitance is almost constant. And in between that, you can easily calculate that high frequency and low frequency. It will change the frequency also. That will vary. Okay. Now we'll take 5 minutes break. We'll start again at 11. Okay. So till now, anyone have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So just read this document and analyze. Actually, though you are facing this is first time, so you may not understand few things. Just read this part and do all the calculations or the graphs, everything by your own. Then you will understand more. So if you will not understand, then we'll discuss these things. Okay. So now we'll take a break 5 minutes and then we'll start next part is body. Okay. So okay, till now all the MOS two-terminal MOS capacitor or MOS junction we have studied. So now we'll go to a three-terminal MOS capacitor. Okay, so from that we will calculate the body effect. Okay, so body effect means if there is a supply voltage or any voltage between the source and substrate of a MOS capacitor, then directly it will affect the threshold voltage of the overall structure. Okay, that thing, then it's body effect due to that body means substrate. So due to that source to substrate supply, so for how it is changes, the threshold voltage is increases or decreases. Okay, what happened, that thing we'll discuss. Okay. So for doing the analysis of body effect, so first we will see this figure. So here n plus contact or n plus region I have added here. Okay, this is nothing but the source. Okay, it's a heavily doped n-type semiconductor. Okay, so during that high frequency signal, when you give the high frequency signal at the gate, so that time the electrons will not come from the boundary of that depletion region. It will come from the directly from here, because at high frequency it is means very difficult to generate the thermally generated means negative electrons from that surface. But it will, why? Because it will take time. So for that case, if a source is there, is a means heavily doped n-type semiconductor, means ample amount of negative electrons are there. So it will be easy when you will give a fast signal. So it will be easy, the electrons will come from here, okay, to the channel. So this is the source, generally you can its source. Now if you will put a voltage in between that source to body, okay, source to body or substrate, generally we can alternately can substrate or body. Okay, so if you will give a supply in between them, then what will happen with your threshold voltage? So that thing we will discuss. And here another thing is, what will be the polarity of this Vs? Okay, generally we will call it Vs or Vsb, you can say. So what will be the polarity of this? Okay, whether it's a positive or negative, what will be the polarity? Okay, so that thing you can analyze from this structure. If this polarity will be negative, means you will give a negative voltage to source and positive voltage to substrate. What will happen? So this is a N plus and this is a P. So it's nothing but a diode. Okay, this is a PN junction. Okay, so that thing you can see here. So just I have this part I have drawn again here. So this is a N plus and this is a P. Okay, this P substrate. So when you will give a negative voltage to this N plus and positive to E, means it's a negative voltage. That means a forward bias will be happen. Okay, so P to N, a forward bias will be happen. So once the forward bias will there, then heavily the current will flow heavily in this junction P to N. Okay, so ultimately what happened, due to that current flow, unnecessary power consumption will be there, and sometimes if this voltage will be very high, what happened, the device may burn. Okay, so that's why from this analysis we are sure, so this should not be a negative voltage, it's always a positive voltage. Source to substrate is always a positive voltage. Okay, and that positive voltage, that is 0 or means it's very high or it's a medium voltage, that depends upon the how much threshold voltage is required, or depends upon the application we can give, or depends upon the circuit structure. That means by default this voltage came. So when you will connect in a circuit, so by default VSB voltage will come. Okay, so some cascade type of circuit, these things generally happen. Okay, so when you go to the circuit part, then we can discuss that. But here you can remember this type of supply is a positive supply, means VSB, means V at the source side is positive and the side is a negative, and this is a reverse bias junction diode, like that. Okay, now suppose this VG, okay, this thing, suppose we have attained a threshold voltage. Okay, we have attained a threshold voltage. At that point, if you will apply a VSB or VS, what will happen? The threshold voltage will decrease or increase, or it is constant. Anyone can say? Suppose a threshold voltage is there. What happens? Suppose you are giving a positive increase.
Yes.
Why it is increased?
Sir, because we are having more lecture touch because we.
No, I'm not getting, actually your voice is breaking. Just can you say again?
Sir, because of pressure.
No, actually I'm not listening properly. Can you? Anyone?
Because retardation touch.
Because?
Write in the chat box. You can write in the chat.
Okay, okay. Okay, anyway, actually, I want an answer from anyone. Kacheta? Just say whether it's
Sir, VGS increasing.
Okay, threshold voltage will increase. Okay, so that thing we'll discuss here. How threshold voltage increase or decrease or constant, that thing. So one by one, I'll say, just see these things. So now what happened? Now this is, suppose this is constant. Vg is equal to greater than Vt, that is suppose constant. Okay. So now Vt0 is equal to Vt at Vs is equal to 0. Okay. So this part initially it is 0 and this is a Vt. Okay. So that time we can say that is Vt0. Okay. Without body, without any body effect, that is Vt0 when Vs is equal to 0. So now we will increase Vs. What happened? When we will increase Vs, so definitely what happened? Though it is a N plus and P, means it's a reverse bias diode. So what happened? This XD. Okay, when you will increase Vs, just see this figure and what I am explaining, just listen that and compare. when you are increasing Vs, what happen? Your depletion region width will increase or not? Because it's a reverse bias diode.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now we are increasing Vs. Here right side I have given in the RMR. This is Vs increase, and due to that XD also increases. Yes. Okay. Next, once XD will increase, that means the number of depletion charges here will increase or not?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Next, QD also increases. Once QD increases, this is nothing but this part. This is the surface of the semiconductor. This part from this to this. This is the phi S. Okay. So XD region increases means the voltage will increase. The surface potential will increase or not? Because we have calculated that triangle shape, half base into height. If you increase the width, that surface potential increase or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, surface potential increases, yes. Now, surface potential increases. Now the phi OX, 1 minute. That is surface potential increases, it's clear. But phi OX, though, no, see this is, I'm wrong here. Actually, this phi OX actually decrease. Why? Because the Vg is constant. Okay, here Vg is constant. Okay, so if you are increasing the phi S, then phi X will be decreased. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes,
Vg is constant, and Vg is nothing but the summation of phi X plus phi S. Okay. So if phi S increases and Vg is constant, so phi X decreases. Okay, I'll change later. Okay, phi X decreases. So if phi X decreases, oxide potential, then Qs, okay, these charges, okay, these total charges, Qs also increases because it's total charges. Okay, it is also increases. Okay. Now you can see Qi is nothing but Qs minus Qd. Okay, this Qi at this interface during threshold, at threshold voltage, this part is nothing but here. This is this part. This is not the Qi. Okay, this is the total charge Qs. This is the depletion charge. This is the Qi. Okay, this part is nothing but the total charge Qs. This is the inverse charge Qi, and this is the Qd. Okay, so now the Qs increases. Okay, so total Qs increases, but Qi, as Qs increases and Qd increases, so Qi is nothing but Qs minus Qd. Okay, so Qi inversion charge, it is decreases. Okay, so this part you can clear from here. Okay, so Vg is equal to phi x plus phi s. So though Vg is constant, okay, this voltage is constant, so phi x decreases. Okay, so I'm wrong here, so I'll change that. So phi x decreases and phi s means surface potential, it is increases. So as phi s increases, surface potential decreases. How it is it decreases? Just 1 minute. I have made a mistake, I think. Qd increases. Yes. Okay. Yeah, got. Remember it. Listen again. This is Vg is constant. So phi OX, phi S increases. That means phi OX decreases. Okay. So phi OX is nothing but related to the phi S. Okay. So though phi OX decreases, that means this surface charge, okay, that is also decreases, okay, due to this phi X. So this is decreases. So phi I nothing but this qi is nothing but inversion charge is nothing but qs minus qd. Okay, though this is decreases and this is increases, so now qi also decreases. Okay, inversion charge decreases. Okay, so now here qi is equal to qs minus qd. So you can put this value qs is equal to phi ox minus c0. Okay, here you can see this is constant part qs. Though phi ox decreases, that means qs decreases. Okay, and qd increases. Okay, that means qi decreases. Got or not? Actually, I have to change only this part. Means in your when I will send this PDF, I have to change this phi ox here decreases. Okay. So now you can see the inversion charge. So inversion charge at the surface decreases due to Vs increases. So finally, this loop you are understanding or not? So again, I will go through this. How much understanding have is fully understandable, or any time any point?
Sir, that
Yes.
XD is increasing.
Yes.
So, sir, XD is QD by QNA. Sir, so QD is increasing because directly proportional. So that is why as the QD depletion charge
QD
is
increases. Yes.
increasing,
Yes.
then yes, sir. Sir, then as more Q depletion charge is increasing, the charge in the surface inversion area is decreasing. So that is
Yes.
what you want to say.
In that way you can understand, means you can analyze, but this is the way, means once the Vs will increase in this in this analysis or in body picture, once Vs increases, finally in this way, you see, if you will directly I will say once Vs will increase, then Qi will decrease. So it is very difficult to understand how the process, how it is finally decreases, means qi inversion charge decreases. So this is the loop, means Vs increases, xd increases, qd increases, qs means phi s increases, phi x decreases, then qs, that surface charge, increases. Okay, and sorry, these two things I have to change. Okay, this surface charge and phi x, both will decrease. Okay, so decreases. Now qi also decrease as qi is equal to qs minus qd. Okay, so finally you got the idea how the qi decreases when you are increasing Vs.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so finally, yes, okay. So this part is, you can put the phi ox is nothing but Vg minus phi s. Okay, this is the constant voltage Vg, and this is the surface potential, and this phi in the place of phi ox you can put phi s minus. So finally, this is your Qi. Okay, this is your Qi. So now in a reverse bias diode, so when you will give a means reverse voltage, okay, so initially this structure is at threshold voltage, yes or no? So because Vg is equal to is greater than Vt, means at Vt it is in a threshold point. Okay, that means phi s is already is phi t. Generally you have 2 phi f. Generally you have calculating our threshold voltage, the threshold. So this is already there. Okay, so now you are increasing this part. When you will increase, come to this point, when you are giving a Vs voltage, already some voltage was there, means this part at the semiconductor surface is phi s is there. Okay, that is built-in potential. Generally you can say built-in potential. Okay, so if you give a positive if you give a forward bias, generally that voltage will decrease. But when you give a negative voltage, okay, here it's a reverse bias. That means the overall voltage will increase or decrease. From means you can analyze from a diode perspective. Suppose a PN junction is there, so you are giving a reverse voltage. So what will be the voltage? That the built-in potential plus VR, yes or no? When you are giving a positive voltage, so this part you are clear or not? Suppose a PN junction is there. So if you will not give any voltage, a built-in potential will be there. It's around 0.7 voltage. Okay. So initially we have to give 0.7 voltage to cancel that. Then the current will flow. But if you will give a reverse voltage, that means the voltage across that diode or that PN junction will be that built-in potential plus the amount of voltage you are giving as a reverse voltage. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, so same thing you can apply here. So though it is a N plus region, it's a P, and you are giving a reverse voltage. So the total phi S at this region. So the total is equal to phi T plus Vs. So initially at threshold voltage that was phi T plus Vs. So this is the new your surface potential is equal to initially it was a built-in potential phi T due to that Vg, constant Vg, and plus Vs means whatever reverse voltage you are giving here. Okay, this is your substrate bias. Okay, source to body bias. So now you can put, if you replace these things in all the equations, what you will get? Qd is equal to initially Qd we have calculated 2q epsilon s Na phi t. Now in the place of phi t you can put phi t plus Vs. Okay. So Qi also similarly you can put phi t plus Vs. Okay. So finally, if you will calculate, the Vt will be due to this body effect, due to this substrate bias, source to substrate voltage. So Vt will be this thing. Is 2q epsilon Na phi t plus Vs plus phi t plus. So if you will put Vs is equal to 0 here, okay, there is no body effect. If you will put it 0, that means this will come as usual, normal threshold voltage 2q epsilon Na phi t by C0 plus phi t. So this part your surface potential, this part your oxide potential. Yes or no? So due to this body effect or source to body voltage, so this part is newly generated. So adding the Vs. Okay. So now what is the delta V? Delta Vt means how much it changes due to this V. Okay, due to this Vs or substrate to that source to substrate bias, how much it changes. So that can be, you can calculate from Vt minus Vt0. Vt0 is nothing but at the threshold voltage. Okay, when Vs is equal to 0, Vt is equal to Vs is equal to some voltage. So if you subtract that two things, finally del Vt you can calculate as this. Okay, so just subtract this from where Vs term is not there. So if you subtract that part, so you will get this part. Okay, and generally this part is nothing but we are called the body effect parameter. Okay, gamma. Okay, TQ epsilon Na by C0. Okay, so del Vt is equal to gamma of this part phi t plus Vs root over minus phi t plus Vs. So generally in Kang you can see this phi t is 2 pi f. Okay, so how it is coming 2 pi f already I have described in a band diagram. Okay, you can relate that. Okay. So remember, understand these things. You can you can go whether Kang book or other books. It's not difficult. Same things, different notations. Okay, you can calculate also different. You can solve also many different problems. Okay, using these equations. So now this is the body effect parameter. Okay, so gamma is equal to 2q epsilon s Na by c. So finally, if these things Na or C0 means you can calculate epsilon x by T0. If thickness of the oxide is there and a concentration of acetone atoms is there, then easily you can calculate the body effect parameters. Okay, so once you can calculate the body effect parameters, then you can calculate the delta V or Vt you can calculate. Okay, at when Bs is equal to some voltage. So final threshold voltage is nothing but this thing actually we have calculated for a ideal mass. Okay, because for simplicity, it is we have calculated all for the ideal MOSFET. But when you will calculate for it means a real MOSFET, then you can add that flat band voltage. Okay, the total threshold voltage will be this part plus your flat band voltage. So this is your flat band voltage, means phi ms that minus qf by c0, this part, plus this is your Vs is your substrate bias, plus this is 2 pi f your surface potential, and this part is your the oxide potential. So finally, if you solve this, you can get all these things, all 4 terms, and plus this part. That 4 terms, you know, that metal semiconductor work function, then due to phi f and the depletion offset, then surface offset, plus this substrate bias. So this is your final threshold voltage when there is a source to substrate voltage is there. Okay, for a real MOSFET. So everyone clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now,
Yes, sir.
This is the last slide. So we can check when this Vs is constant and Vg is varying, then what will happen? Or Vg is constant, Vs is varying, what will happen with the surface charges? Okay, already this part we have discussed, but this part you can discuss here. Suppose Vs is constant. Vs is constant means at 1, suppose this is the condition. Okay, at 1 you can see at the charges some depletion region is there. Suppose we will start from Vg will start from 0. So think about at 1 condition, this is some depletion region is there and some negative charges are there, but at that time there is no inversion charge, only depletion regions are there. Okay, this is the one case, suppose depletion regions are there. Okay, so that was the constant Vs. Now we are changing the Vg from 0. Okay, so from 0, Vg is equal to 0, this is the condition. Once Vg will be more, so again this will come. Okay, 2 condition will come, because we are giving positive voltage, the depletion will be more and more. Okay, now Vg will be at 3 condition. Okay, at 3 condition, this is nothing but the threshold condition. Okay, so at this condition, when you will Vg will be at some voltage, when inversion charges will start to come to this interface. Okay, so after that 4 also same condition, because that depletion region will be not increases, but the inversion charges will increase. So that's why I have written as 3 and 4, and here 4. Okay, so Vg is equal to 0 volt at 1 condition, and 2 condition Vg2 greater than Vg1, at 3 Vg3 is greater than Vg2 is almost equal to Vt. Okay, and Vg4 is greater than Vt. Okay, this thing will. So in presence of Vs, the threshold voltage of MOS will be more. Okay. So here you can see. So in presence of Vs, if will increase, so the threshold voltage will require more means more threshold voltage required to create a inverse region at this interface, comparatively when Vs is equal to 0. Okay, because why? Because when Vs will be increases, generally our inversion charges decreases. So that's why to create that inversion charges, so we have to give more threshold voltage. Okay, more get to substrate voltage. Okay, this thing you understood? Why Vg is more, what Vt is more required presence of Vs? Because due to Vs, this inversion charges decreases. So to create again that charges, you have to give more voltage. Okay, very simple way you can remember these things. So the final thing is Vs increases, Qi decreases. Again to get back that Qi, you have to increase threshold voltage. Okay, this is a very simple example. So next thing is next explanation is Vg is constant, Vs increases. Okay, so this Vg is nothing but at the threshold voltage. Okay, this is some threshold voltage. This is constant, means already we have attained threshold voltage. Okay, at Vt, this is the Vg at Vt, means some inversion regions are there. Okay, inversion charges are there and some depletion charges are there. Now we are increasing Vs. Okay, so here you can see at one condition means Vs is equal to 0. So already inversion charges are there and some depletion regions are there. Okay, at one condition, that means Vs is equal to 0 and Vg is equal to at Vt. Okay, or greater than Vt. Now we will increase Vs. So what happened? So though we will increase Vs, the depletion region will increase. Okay, depletion region is 2, 3 like that. So depletion region width and this QD increases. Okay, the process already I have explained. So finally Qi decreases. So I have shown here at 3. Means at this depletion region, you can see the inversion charge decrease up to this. Okay, once you will give more Vs, then the inversion charge will be 0. Okay, that means you can relate. If you are increasing Vs, initially this was Vt, inversion charge were there and threshold voltage, it's a threshold voltage. By increasing Vs, the inversion charges will be finally will be 0. That means no inversion charge, no threshold point. So we have to give more Vg to get back that inversion charge and threshold voltage. Okay, so this way, in these two ways, you can analyze or remember. Okay, so final point is once you are increasing the source to substrate bias or increasing the Vs, so your threshold voltage, you have to give more threshold voltage to get back the same condition. Okay. So hope you all understood these things. So at least this means we have completed the MOS junction or MOS structure. Okay. So hope means it is very important. That's why I have given so much time on this, because if you once understood this thing, then later any type of problem, any type of circuit, easily you can relate this and you can give. You can solve any type of problem or in interview or anything where you can easily crack. Okay, this is a very basic things for a MOSFET. So after that, that current voltage equation, that is simply, if you know this, means you can that linear regions means saturation region or cutoff region, that is very easy. That is not, it's a difficult part. The difficult part is these things. Okay. So please freely ask or freely discuss if any point you are feeling any difficulty, or I want to go to some persons again, or any means in confusion. Hello.
Sir, it's clear.
Okay, so everyone clear? So one by one I will ask. Ms. Akanksha, you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chitra? Or you need to revise? What?
Once we go through it, then again we can ask some doubt. If there will be doubt, we will ask you, sir.
Yes. But means okay, but after revising, it will be very easy. But during this process, means, when I am going through that documents or understand, I am explaining. So, any difficulty you are facing, or simply you are understanding these things?
We are understanding, sir. We are understanding.
That is actually main point. Otherwise, okay. So, what's others? What are the others? Prachita, Satabdi, okay. Then Soumya, Walker,
Yes, sir.
okay. Then Chitra, okay. Soumya, Susri, okay. Okay. So, if you are understood well, or if you will revise this thing, then definitely you will got all the things. So I'll suggest go back and revise these things and do all the calculations, all the graphs, okay, by your own. Draw all the graphs on timing, that diagrams, band diagrams, and this MOSFET, that junction diagrams. Then do by your own and write all the equations, solve that equations. Okay, so finally you'll understood. So now this is the assignment actually. Assignment means already you have done these things. So whatever formulas are there, whatever you have understood, so just apply this thing and do this. So next class you can submit. So next class means actually tomorrow is holiday. So tomorrow there is no class, and though today I have done 2 classes. So Wednesday I will not take any class, directly come to the lab. Okay. So the Wednesday or next Monday, so you can submit this assignments. It's very easy. Just go through this. So first problem we have already discussed. This is first example, how to calculate the threshold voltage for ideal MOSFET. And here in second case, it is given the aluminum gate, okay, and also given the phi m. Okay, so you have to calculate the critical capacitance and voltage. Critical capacitance means that accumulation region capacitance, then low frequency capacitance, high frequency capacitance. So at threshold voltage, what is the capacitance? And the voltage also given, threshold voltage is given 1 voltage. So from that you can calculate the flat band voltages. Okay. And this is the NA given, T0 also given as 0.2 micron. So for this calculation, for all capacitance or voltages, so this data is sufficient. So you can calculate. Okay. So third problem is, this is related to the body effect. Okay. But we have gone through now. That body bias is 5 voltage. So you will apply the ideal MOS capacitor. Okay. So here no flat band, you will not use the flat band voltage. So according to that body effect, you can calculate. Okay. So calculate the increase in threshold. So from 1 voltage to how much? How the threshold voltage increases if you are giving 5 voltage and a substrate, source to substrate bias, that thing will calculate. Okay. And fourth thing is this body effect also you can calculate or you can explain through band diagram also. So I will expect that thing you will do. Okay. So though we have done a lot of explanations on that band diagram, or how the charges and electric field, all these things. So definitely, I hope we will calculate that body effect from that energy band diagram. Okay. So this is the fourth question. And fifth is calculate the phi ms for both heavily doped p-type semiconductor, p-type polysilicon and heavily doped n-type polysilicon. Okay, so this is what I have discussed initially. So for a p-type polysilicon or n-type polysilicon, so you have to calculate what is the phi ms. Okay, metal to semiconductor work function. Okay. So this heavily means it's almost touch the EC or EV. The Fermi level will touch the EC or EV. Okay. So explain physically why the capacitance decreases at depletion region. Okay. Already we have discussed this thing. Explain what at high frequency the capacitance is minimum and constant. Okay. These 6 and 7 already we have discussed. So please go through these documents. I will send this now. And do these assignments, and Pracheta Satabdi, please just collect from them and you can check. Okay.
Sir, how are we supposed to submit the assignment?
You can submit by next Monday.
No, sir, like we need to mail you or we have to WhatsApp you or something.
You can WhatsApp in group now. So what we'll do actually in GitHub, I think we will share. Actually, for Pracheta and this Pracheta. Hello.
Yes,
Satab,
sir.
just
Yes,
to
sir.
ask them how to share. Actually, just put in the Dropbox and share the Dropbox link. Okay, in WhatsApp. So from that you'll check. In later we'll put that in GitHub. Okay. So I think your next class is now, I think, or
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
yes, we have class.
okay. So we'll stop here. So thank you all. Go and read this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.